Good morning, everyone. Keith Johnson, CPA with Business Beat for June 5th, 2021. Unemployment came out yesterday. I apologize. I had client work all day. Clients were calling, so I had to take care of them first. Actually, I do apologize for my interruption on the doorbell on our last show a couple days ago. That was a new client, and so we always value our clients. And she had come in a little early, and so still want to take care of her. So I do apologize for that. But wanted to talk about the unemployment rate figures that came out yesterday. I didn't quite nail it, but it was if you remember earlier in the week, I called for 350,000 job gain. Came in at 559,000 new jobs were created in May. Still less than the economist consensus forecast of 617. So still is considered weak. So that part was, my projection that it would be somewhat weak was correct. So didn't quite call it, but wasn't too far off. Some things that happened: the U6, which it counts underemployed and people who are working part-time. So that means that people who want full-time jobs but cannot work full-time for whatever reason, and people who are highly qualified but are working at a fast food place where it's below their education and skills. Not saying that fast food places is not tough. It is hard work, but it just counts as underemployment. That dropped to 10.2%. The overall U3, which is unemployed, was down to 5.8. So labor participation rate still dropped to 61.2%. So the jobs report, as I indicated, kind of indicated a weak market because people still are hooked on the unemployment stimulus payments of $300 a month. Now, about half the states are in the process of canceling that. They either are doing it right now or canceling it during June. So I still think as people are forced to go back to work, the supply chain issues, which are partially causing inflation, are going to ease up. And also the unemployment figures are going to ease up once people realize, they got to go back to work. So I'm still standing by my prediction where I don't think that we're going to see too much in June, but for the June figures, but with a lot of the unemployment figures or unemployment benefits being ended by the states in June, or even in May, I think by the July figures, which come out the first Friday in August, I do start to see a recovery, a stronger recovery. So we'll see what happens. More details are coming out with the tax package, with the budget. The budget is calling for a double taxation on death. Now, what that means is that one thing that we're seeing is, I talked about a couple days ago that capital gains are going to be imposed retroactively. Of course, this is if the law passes and everything passes, but they're going to be retroactively applied back to April of 2021. So, this is to avoid people, selling off all their assets in late this year. However, one thing that the budget, or that the infrastructure tax increase is saying, is that capital gains will be assessed at death. So what that means is that, let's say you die with, and I'm sure there's going to be, some kind of exemption amount. Right now it's $11 million for single, $22 million for married filing joint. We'll find out what that is. But basically, at this time, let's put it this way: if you are if you have asset, well, I'll give you a great example. When Dad died, my dad died back in 2013. He had some stock that he passed on to my sister and I, and we inherited the stock. It wasn't a whole lot. He wasn't Warren Buffett by any means, but we recognized the stock, or we got the stock based on the fair market value of the date of death, which was in November of 2013. And what that means is that we recognize what's called a stepped up basis. So we recognize for our purposes that our investment in the stock is the fair market value at the time of death. Okay. And now I haven't sold it yet. I'm holding on to it, reinvesting the dividends. And so down the road, I don't intend to sell it. Down the road, I'll pass it on to somebody, and they will get the stock as of the date of death, date of my death. Okay, so you don't have to recognize the stock as it was, and you don't have to recognize capital gains until the stock is sold. Okay, well, under this new provision, any capital assets owned by somebody, and again, this may be subject to exemption amounts and things like that, they will be required to pay capital gains at the time of death. So in other words, when somebody dies, they will have been deemed to have sold the stock. So now they still make it the stepped up basis if they had inherited it, but they have to recognize the capital gains on the sale of the stock at the time. And those assets are still going, now the capital gains are going to be reported for income tax purposes. The value of the assets actually are going to be counted toward estate tax purposes. So those assets are going to be taxed twice. Okay, that ain't right. I don't think that's going to pass, to be honest. I mean, the Democrats have a very, very, very slim majority in both houses, and there's two moderate Democrats, Senators Manchin from West Virginia and Senator Sinema from Arizona, who I think would block this. And it only takes one senator to do it. So, and then in the House, it fluctuates based on special elections, but the Democrats have only about a majority of 8 or so representatives. And I think there's probably going to be enough moderate Democrats that are going to be vulnerable. So I don't think they're going to go along with that. So I think something will pass, but I think it's going to be heavily watered down. We'll see. Another thing that is a little scary that is being floated around by the Democrats is a bill to tax pharmaceutical companies 95%, okay, on prescription medicines. So that means is basically the profits that they make are going to be taxed at 95%, just like the old the awesome tune Taxman by the Beatles, where, if you recall, and this song plays in my head on an endless loop on April 15th, there's a verse, if 5% appears too small, be thankful I don't take it all. Okay, so kind of channeling the Beatles there. Great group, I love them. And so I don't think he'll be that high either. I think Big Pharma will fight this because what they're going to do is if they impose the 95% tax, basically what'll happen is our the prices of our prescriptions will double. I don't think that's going to go over too well. So it's just, I don't think it's just how, out of touch I think our Congress is, and it's for both parties too. We're not just picking on the Democrats, but I think it just shows how out of touch both parties are in Congress to us. I mean, because they don't think, okay, yeah, I mean, their own people are going to see their prescription prices double, and a lot of them are on fixed income. So we're not I think there's going to be a lot of value. In other words, again, it's going to make for a pretty interesting summer of discussions. So we also came out, I think, what was it, Friday or Wednesday, that a new plan, I think I did mention this, President Biden put out a new watered down infrastructure plan. Instead of spending about 3 or 4 trillion, he wants to spend 1 trillion. And basically what that is one of the things is, to pay for it, he wants to keep the corporate rate, as it were, at 21%, which is from the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, but also he wants to impose a 15%, kind of like an alt-min tax. So I agree with it. I think that, as I think everybody should pay their fair share. I mean, corporations now, corporations, they find loopholes and everything like that. I do think it ought to be a little more equitable. Now, one thing that the president did say, I think Thursday, that kind of ruffled my feathers was minority business owners. He wanted to fund $250 billion, I believe, towards minority-owned businesses, which is awesome. We need that. All right. The thing that really kind of frosted my staff's shorts, as it were, was the fact that he said, look, Black-owned businesses, Black people, minorities don't have the accountants and the lawyers to save them money and help them make the right decisions. And I don't get offended a lot, but I was offended because we work with minority businesses all the time. We enjoy it. We steer minority business owners, well, and all business owners, but we work with all business owners. But if minority business owners, we steer them to, especially the UNF, University of North Florida Small Business Development Center, and they work with, specifically, they have programs for minority business owners and women business owners to get certified, so they get extra points when buying from the government. And we do this all, we don't charge a lot. We're very affordable, and we serve a lot of minority and women-owned businesses that want to start their dreams. And so the fact that, the president said that, Black-owned, minority-owned businesses, they don't have the wherewithal or the resources to have accountants and lawyers is definitely not true. I mean, we work with them all the time, and we tend to charge. I think we charge a bit, really either a market or a below market rate. So it was very it was a pretty, it got to us. So my point is that if you're a minority business or any business owner, it doesn't matter who you are, and you want to realize your dream, you want to start your own business, come to us, call us, and just say, look, want to start our own business. What do we do? And we take them through it. We show them how to register with the state of Florida. Florida, so almost everyone starts Florida. We look at the tax structure, what the best tax structure is for them. We help them get an EIN from the IRS, very simple process. And then we explain, depending on their situation, the taxes that they're going to incur, like sales tax, unemployment tax, and payroll tax. And we work with them to look at the different responsibilities that they have for it. So, the point is, we're not going to break your bank. So if you want to come, and if you have a dream and you want to come in and you want to start your own business, we can help you, and we're not, we're going to work with you. Okay. So it's a little thing that kind of got a little bit under our skin this week. But anyway, I think that's it for now. I will look at the news today, and I'll be talking with you tomorrow on something. And anyway, in the meantime, I hope that you have a great day, and I hope that y'all stay safe. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.